Honkai Star is about nearly 2 months since its official launch. We've had plenty of characters, each with their own mechanics and builds. You've got stands, scammers, blondes, tanks, and healers. With the game as of this video only a 1.1, there's so much more potential with each new character, and it's a given that some characters simply have the reputation of being underpowered. For one reason or another, you've got a few characters known for anything other than their gameplay. And then you've got the one who isn't exactly talked much about for character or gameplay. Yeah, Arlan. Now, don't get me wrong, he's got his fans, and there's plenty of videos about what he can do. But he clearly doesn't come to mind at all when this game is brought up. Hopefully, I can illustrate not only why I enjoy using him, but how you can as well. The entirety of this man's kit revolves around being stuck around low health percentages. In other words, pain only makes him stronger. It's all in his talent, Pain and Anger. This increases his damage for every percentage of HP below his max up to a certain cap. Now for good reference, I have his talent at trace level 7, so that's 58.5%. That's already a huge boost in damage if we aren't factoring in Harmony characters like Branya and Ting Yun. Shackle Breaker is his skill, and unlike other skills, this doesn't cost any points to use. Instead, you sacrifice 15% of your max health to deal lightning damage to a single target. You will never go below 1 when doing this. Now, a real connoisseur will realize the value of pain. If you're remotely familiar with a game like Yu-Gi-Oh!, you'll see this sort of design philosophy in powerful cards like the Solemn Counter Trap. Take Solemn Judgment for example. It's a card that can be played in response to any effect your opponent activates. By paying half of your life points, you can negate and destroy said card. Now if you were some square, you'd think sacrificing so much of your precious life is at risk. The thing is that so long as you aren't dying, then losing life is just another means of attaining victory. This concept has been proven time and time again in games such as TFT and Cardfight Vanguard. Remember, this skill is essentially costless. Saving an extra skill point is huge in this case. In runs through Chaos Member and Simulate Universe, every point matters. Pain is power after all.
Transmission blocked. Executing operation. Analysis complete. Reinforcing.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Executing annihilation. Annihilate all individuals.
I have to keep going.
Skill issue.
Now, despite what I said, yes, please keep in mind that he's still a very vulnerable unit. As a destruction character, his taunt value is 125, which is the second highest in the game. Keeping him above death's door is key. At the same time, if he isn't crippled, then you aren't doing it right.
I have crippling depression.
Balancing his health and his attack bonuses are the name of the game here. As a free-to-play, March 7th is your best friend. If you've got Gepard, that's even better. And Preservation Trailblazer, well, I guess he's alright. You kinda need to pair him with another Preservation or an Abundance unit though. If I've learned anything in this game, it's that taunt values are more rigged than the pity rates. Of course, you're perfectly fine using a healer like Natasha or Bai Lu. Sometimes having Arlan at near full health isn't always a bad thing, especially if you know a huge group attack is coming. Can't forget about Luocha of course. Gotta stay relevant. Itemization will usually have you using the Band of Sizzling Thunder Relic set. As per usual, you aim for crit rate / crit percentage on the body with attack percentage for the feet. Space Healing Station is a great planar ornament, but I found that something like Salsoda's Moving City isn't too bad either. Just be sure the sphere has lightning damage with energy regen or attack percentage link rope. In terms of light cones, there's a few I heavily recommend. On the Fall of an Aeon with Superimpose 5, which you can get from the Herda shop, is a great free-to-play option, and would you look at that, it even gives a bonus from Break. We all know this channel loves some breaks. This personal one, A Secret Vow, is just as solid. Nowhere to Run and Mutual Device are also fine to run as well. Something irreplaceable is usually gold on destruction characters. Now, Arlan is a real unit. When he hits hard, he hits hard. This is especially true with his ultimate, Frenzied Punishment. He'll deal a large amount of lightning damage to one enemy and reduce damage to up to 2 adjacent enemies. Let me tell you right now, do you know how good it feels to use this against that fat fuck in his hands? Let me tell you, it's amazing. Dopamine inducing. You could say it's given me tenfold. As stated before, pairing Arlan up with preservation units is heavily optimal. You can think of shields as an extra health bar. Since I've talked about it before, I'll go ahead and skip it. Because of his unique costless skill, he goes extremely well with Hunt and Erudition characters. As both types are resource intensive, having the extra points can go towards supporting the team. This is why he can function well enough in a dual carry comp. Based on the challenge, units such as Serval will help cover reinforcement enemies, while ones such as Dan Heng will help hyper-focus on elites or bosses. For support, you'll usually be coming in with a Harmony character. In a twist of lore accuracy, Asta and Arlan pair up well as a free-to-play. Her ultimate can come into play if you use the Fleet of the Ages Planar Sphere or, like I said, Space Healing Station. On top of her talent, you'll have enough buffs to charge him up. There's also everyone's favorite tank, King Yun. If stacks aren't your thing, then she'll grant immediate buffs with her skill. Her ultimate will let you be one step closer to firing off another ult. And hey, maybe she'll take all the aggro for you. Now, I know what you brilliant, well-kempt, like-minded individuals are probably thinking. What about nihility characters like Pella or Silver Wolf? It's true that those characters can actually cause a defensive debuff, and Silver Wolf can also lie to get a lightning weakness if applicable. You could substitute your other carry for it. If you can get away with it, why not? I've stated this in my previous video, if you haven't watched it, link will be up in the description below. But enjoying the game is key to enjoying Burnout. Despite what certain websites say about Arlan, he's definitely a lot better than they give him credit for. Actually, you could probably watch nearly every video about him to reach that conclusion. The inherent risk of having low health percentages and gaining a large attack bonus makes the game much more exciting. It's like the gambling effect every whale gets from spending their life savings on Diablo Immortal. It's often said that simplicity is what makes mechanics deep, and that I can heavily agree upon. Damage will always be the name of the game in Honkai Star Rail. That will never change. But it's how we get there that makes our journey all worthwhile. Our time is precious, and it's often we rush things to make up for it. Just remember one thing. Blade is basically better Arlan. Thanks for watching the video. The last one got a huge reception, and I never thought it would get that much. I only started doing YouTube about 2 months ago, so the growth has been phenomenal. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to click that red button, leave some likes. You don't even need to comment. Next time though, I've got something different planned, non-Starro related, so be on the lookout for it. Enjoy the rest of your day/night. Thank you.